Hello students. So next we will consider nucleus, another cell organelle. Now this nucleus, it is a membrane bound cell organelle. So the membrane of nucleus, it is called nuclear membrane, and based on nuclear membrane, the nucleus can be called true nucleus or the false nucleus. So nucleus was discovered by Robert Brown, or nucleus was first described by Robert Brown. See, a nucleus contains a material. It is basically called chromatin. So nuclear material or material of nucleus, it was called chromatin by Fleming. So Fleming, he coined the term chromatin, right? So chromatin is the material of nucleus. The word chromatin was given by Fleming. So here you may expect 1 mark questions. Who first described the nucleus? Or you may expect who coined the term chromatin. Then another 1 mark question you can expect is the interphase nucleus. So what is this interphase nucleus? It is the nucleus of a non-dividing cell, right? So nucleus of non-dividing cell, it is called interphase nucleus. So that also can expect as a 1 mark question, right? What is interphase nucleus? Then next we will consider the structure of nucleus. So this is the structure of a nucleus. So nucleus is somewhat spherical in shape, right? Generally nucleus is spherical in shape. In this section it appears circular. It is bounded by a membrane, right? Nucleus is bounded by a membrane. It is called nuclear membrane. So the membrane or the outer covering of nucleus, it is called nuclear membrane. Now this nuclear membrane, it is not continuous, right? Nuclear membrane is not continuous. It is discontinuous. So since it is discontinuous, there are gaps, right? There are gaps in the nuclear membrane. Now these gaps, they form nuclear pores. So nuclear pore, it is the gap present between it is the gap found in the nuclear membrane, right? Then the matrix of nucleus. So inside the nuclear membrane or to the interior of nuclear membrane, you find this space, or that space can be also called as matrix, right? So the matrix or the ground substance. So matrix or ground substance of nucleus, what it is called? It is called nucleoplasm. So nucleoplasm is the matrix of nucleus. Now what is present in the nucleoplasm? Nucleoplasm contains the nuclear material, and that nuclear material is called chromatin. So chromatin is the nuclear material. Now this chromatin, it forms the chromosomes, right? So chromatin is involved in the formation of chromosomes. So chromosomes, they are fine thread-like structures present inside the nucleus, right? Chromosomes are fine thread-like structures present inside the nucleus. If you consider a human diploid cell or a human body cell, it is having how many chromosomes? There are 46 chromosomes in each body cell of man, right? So these chromosomes are made up of chromatin. Then there is a dark spot in the nucleoplasm, right? There is a dark spot in the nucleoplasm. So this dark spot that you find in the nucleus or nucleoplasm, it is called nucleolus, right? It is called nucleolus. So there is difference between nucleus and nucleolus. So nucleolus is the dark spot present in the nucleus or dark spot present in the nucleoplasm. Now this nucleolus is not having any membrane. Nucleolus doesn't have a membrane. So it is a non-membrane bound structure, right? Nucleolus is a non-membrane bound structure. The function of nucleolus is it produces ribosomes. It produces ribosomes. So synthesis of ribosomes is the function of nucleolus. So nucleolus produces ribosomes. What are ribosomes? These are the protein factories of the cell, right? Ribosomes are commonly called protein factories of the cell because they produce protein, right? They produce protein or they are involved in protein synthesis. So nucleolus is called ribosome factory of the cell. Nucleus, it is a double membrane structure, right? Nucleus is a cell organelle composed of double membrane. So here you can see, right? You can see the nuclear membrane is having double membrane. So the space between this double membrane of nucleus, right? The space between the double membrane of nucleus, it is called perinuclear space. So that is about the structure of nucleus. So you may expect structure of nucleus as a 5-mark question. So you may expect this for 5 marks. Explain the structure of nucleus. So we shall revise this in brief. So nucleus is spherical in shape. Next point, it is a double membrane structure. The space between the two membranes, it is called perinuclear space. The matrix of nucleus, it is called nucleoplasm. In the nucleoplasm, there is chromosome material or nuclear material. It is called chromatin. There is a dark spot inside the nucleus. It is called nucleolus, which is a ribosome factory of the cell. Right? So that is about the structure. Okay, one more point. Nuclear pores. There are gaps in the nuclear membrane which form nuclear pores. And these nuclear pores are involved in transporting materials in and out of nucleus. So materials are taken outside the nucleus through nuclear pore, or materials are taken inside the nucleus through nuclear pore. So nuclear pores, they help to pass materials or substances in and out of nucleus. So that is the structure of a nucleus. After this, we shall consider the structure of chromosome. So as I told you, chromosome is a thread-like structure present in the nucleus. In man, the body cells have 46 chromosomes, whereas the gametes like sperm and ovum, they have 23 chromosomes. So 46, it is diploid, 2 sets. 23 haploid, 1 set. So gametes are haploid because they have 1 set of chromosomes. Body cells or somatic cells are diploid because they have 2 sets of chromosomes. Right? So chromosome number in diploid cells is 46. In haploid cells it is 23. Now these chromosomes, right, they can be observed in the nucleus during a particular stage that is called metaphase, that we will consider in detail in the coming videos. So how is the structure of a single chromosome? So a single chromosome appears like this. So this is the structure of a single chromosome. Now this chromosome, it is called double-stranded, means it is having 2 strands. So here this is 1 strand, this is another strand. So these are the 2 strands. So we can call it as double-stranded, or we can say each strand, it is called chromatid, right? Each strand is called chromatid. So here there are a pair of chromatids. So this is one chromatid and this is another chromatid. So chromatids are rod-shaped structures, right? They are elongated rod-shaped structures. So such elongated rod-shaped structures, they are called chromatids. So there are a pair of chromatids in a chromosome. Both the chromatids are held or attached at a point, right? Both the chromatids, they are attached here at this point. It is called centromere, right? So centromere is the point of attachment of 2 chromatids. External to the centromere, you find these 2 disc-shaped structures, right? On the outer side of centromere, you find these 2 disc-shaped structures. They are called kinetochores. So kinetochore lies external to the chromatid. So kinetochores are the point of attachment of spindle fibers during cell division. Again, that I will tell you when we discuss the coming concepts. So this region where centromere is present, it is narrow. So this narrow region where centromere is located, it is called the primary constriction. Constriction means a narrow region, right? So narrow part. The narrow part, opposite of narrow is broad, right? So this narrow part, it is called primary constriction. So centromere is located at the primary constriction. External to the centromere, there are kinetochores. Similarly, at the tip of chromosome, you find another constricted region or another narrow region. So this is also a narrow region. You can see here there is a constriction or narrow part. This forms the secondary constriction. So secondary constriction is located near the tip, right? So the tip of chromosome, so these are the terminal ends or apex or tip of the chromosome, it is called telomere. So telomere is the tip of the chromosome, right? So tip of chromosome is called telomere. At the region of telomere, this structure, right, it is called satellite. So satellite is located above the secondary constrictions. So satellite is a structure located above the secondary constriction near the telomere. Then both these chromatids, they are made up of these fibers. These fibers of chromatin, they are called chromatin fibers. So chromatids are made up of chromatin fibers, and these chromatin fibers, they are like threads. So that is the structure of a chromosome. So we shall revise that in brief. So a chromosome is composed of a pair of chromatids. Both these chromatids are held together, or they are attached at a point called centromere. External to the centromere, there are disc-shaped structures called kinetochores. The region of centromere is narrow. It forms the primary constriction. There is another constriction at the tip. It is called the secondary constriction. The tip of chromosome is called telomere. The part above the secondary constriction near the telomere, it is called satellite. Then in the chromatids, you can observe these thread-like structures. They are called chromatin fibers. So that is the structure of a chromosome. So in the diploid cell, there are 46 chromosomes. In the haploid cell, there are 23 chromosomes. Right? So in this particular video, we have discussed the introductory part of nucleus, then the structure of nucleus, then the structure of a chromosome. So structure of chromosome can be expected as a 3 or 5 mark question. This can be expected as a 5 mark question. This can be expected as a 3 or 5 mark question. The introductory part can be expected for 1 mark. So with this, we shall stop here and continue in the next video. Thank you.